back edge will line up, but there's a huge gap at the front.
Do we know anyone selling a 1302 chassis?
I think it's been run over.
People think, oh, just chuck the filler on, it'll be all right, but they don't realise how much work it involves.
That is absolutely amazing.
Transforming this beaten-up 1971 Beetle into a custom classic was never going to be easy, and with his project partner Rich tied up with his wedding, Steve has struggled to meet some key deadlines.
Once we get it painted, it'll give us a firm base to work off.
Even if we get sprayed tomorrow, it's going to be very tight.
They've had a second-hand engine built, but the bodywork's still a long way off being painted, and now they've barely 2 months and half of their £5 budget to get it ready for the biggest show in Europe.
No, we'd struggle to do that in a fully equipped workshop. Help!
They've saved themselves thousands by doing most of the welding themselves, but some jobs need the touch of an expert. The final custom flourishes are being applied by restorer Lee Southerton, who's fabricating a new dash with some hidden ice.
We knew we wanted a custom dash originally, but we couldn't visualise it. And because Lee's done it so many times, he can visualise it straight away.
He knows what he wants. Even when I try and suggest something that'll work in a better way than what he's not having it.
Lee's last job on the bug is to fabricate a surround for a new filler cap, but the overall look has become a topic of some debate.
For some reason he wants it let in straight on the side of the quarter panel.
Lee suggests the cap should be inset at an angle, mirroring the bespoke dash.
I've tried explaining, but he's not having it.
With the cap at an angle, the fuel would flow straight into the tank. With the cap lying flush, the pipe to the tank will have to have a bend in it, which will take longer to fabricate and could inhibit the flow.
With Steve, he's all on one level. You don't know whether you've pleased him or p***ed him off.
But for many, these small personal details are what custom building is all about.
Just preferred the look of it, just being slightly recessed in and sort of in line with the bodywork. In a way, we're pretty much on the same wavelength, ideas-wise, and it's just when you get down to the finer detail.
Lee has agreed to help prepare the car for the MOT, and this will mean another job added to the list.
I suppose I'll just have to make some kind of feed pipe for it when he's ready.
Steve could be sacrificing the completion date in the pursuit of perfection. Next day, the car's back in Steve's garage. He can't wait to show off Lee's handiwork to his mate and fellow VW enthusiast Paul.
Rev counter and speedo will sit in these pods back here.
Yeah.
And he's recessed this under here so the DVD screen will flip down there.
Okay, yeah.
And the PS2 will sit in at that sort of angle behind the dash, so you press the button and it'll...
Yeah, so it'll look clean until you press the button.
Yeah, it's trying to get it all hidden. These are the gauges from Dakota in the States. They're all fully digital.
Yeah. It's looking really good. Even though it's got the classic Beetle shape, there's lots of modern touches hidden in there. Putting all modern gauges and luxuries that you don't normally get. It's nice, you know, you'd be like driving a modern car in a sense, even though you've got the sound and the mechanics of an original Beetle.
Paul's just one of a network of friends who will be vital to the success of the project.
What I was thinking is, if we cut it across there, across that bit.
He's come to help Steve repair the accident damage to the front of the floor pan. They have to remove the top half of the chassis front and replace it with a new panel.
Whoa, loads of rust.
The original metal is far more solid than the cheap reproduction part, so the boys will use as little of the new panel as possible.
See how this lines up.
Rich has arrived to lend a hand, but walks straight into a major problem.
The back edge will line up, but there's a huge gap at the front.
Do we know anyone selling a 1302 chassis?
No.
Rich's problem solving usually involves a quick fix.
Yeah, but we've got to spend time welding all this back on. We've got to spend time welding a floor pan in there. If we could get one that was just done.
Yeah, but then he's got to strip it down another £100 down the blasters.
Sourcing another chassis would cost time and money, and as it would need to be media blasted, there'd be no guarantees it would be in any better shape than this one.
Oops.
Do you need some weight on that?
Yeah.
Go on in. No, I don't think even you're heavy enough, mate.
It's yet more frustration for the lads, and the problem needs to be resolved quickly.
We'll tell you what we can do, right? Undo that one a sec. Let me just line this up. I'll put a tack on here so we're not worried about it moving. That's it. That's better. That's pulled it down now.
Yeah.
Yay.
Paul's one of these people, you know, he can make anything. We want to get it spot on, we want to try and get it as mint looking underneath as well as on top. It's worth the hassle.
For most show car owners, perfection comes at a price. If they haven't got the skills but still want to raise the bar, then first they must raise the cash.
Previous owner probably spent about £25,000 to build the car, and since then I've probably spent a further £9,000.
Hayden's 1967 Cal Look Bug is one of the best on the show circuit. All the work was done by a professional restorer who's been building show winners for over 18 years and knows what both the owners and the judges demand.
Perfection, the VW scene and the cars that